And now we move on to our second leading story. The Tunisian Ministry of Foreign Affairs has announced that the Ministers' Economic and Financial Affairs Council of the EU has removed Tunisia from the list of non-cooperative countries on taxes. In a statement issued on Wednesday, the ministry expressed its satisfaction with the decision. Last December, the EU issued a decision to include Tunisia on the list of countries that are considered tax havens and non-cooperative. Tunisia then expressed its surprise and dismay at being unfairly classified in the blacklist.
But then why this reversal by the ministers of the European Union? Did Tunisia suffer any consequences as a result of these sanctions? We will find out further with a Tunisian economist, Aram Belhadj. Good morning. The EU took Tunisia out of the blacklist January 23, where it was placed with a number of other countries on the 5th of December 2017. What do you think of this decision? First of all, I consider that classifying Tunisia on the blacklist of non-cooperative countries on tax matters is an absurd decision because the European Union knew very well that Tunisia, which is the first partner of the European Union, cannot be a tax haven in comparison with other countries granted many advantages, many tax advantages for investors, especially for companies. And then the European Union neglected the fact that Tunisia had just freed itself from political and economic transition. And then one very important detail which I think the EU has also neglected is that the Ministry of Finance where there were important changes in 2017. I would like to remind you that Madame Geroubi was dismissed in April 2017, then left the interim minister, Mr. Abdelkassi, and then there was a cabinet reshuffle where Mr. Chagon was appointed head of the finance department. So all this has in fact been neglected by the EU. I believe that the decision is much more a political decision than an objective decision based on what the EU announced, which is in fact non-cooperation in exchange of the information and non-transparency in Tunisian tax system.
Sur ce qu'annonce l'Union européenne, qui est en fait la non-coopération en matière d'échange de l'information et la non-transparence au niveau du système fiscal tunisien.
Tunisia remains on the blacklist for almost 2 months, which will inevitably leave a stigma on the country's economy. Of course, fortunately, the EU has removed Tunisia from the list quickly, since classifying a country, especially a country that is going through a difficult situation such as Tunisia, could in fact jeopardize the image, first of all. And when the country is blacklisted, it will automatically block funds coming from the international institutions. You know, a country that is blacklisted can actually increase the risk of proliferation of money laundering operation. And of course, it can also negatively affect the foreign investment. But as I said, fortunately, the decision to remove Tunisia from the blacklist came quickly to avoid all this.
Ça peut, bien entendu, affecter négativement les investissements des étrangers, mais comme j'ai dit, heureusement que la décision de sortir la Tunisie de cette liste noire est venue rapidement pour éviter tout ça, quoi.
Alors, l'Union européenne a sorti the EU has taken Tunisia out of the blacklist, but not completely, as it's still ranked in the grey list, which is better than bread. What remains to be done to bring the country in line with the EU?
Pour que le pays soit en phase avec les standards, les conditions, les critères de l'Union européenne.
What the EU in fact wants, if I can summarize into 3 points: transparency, that is the exchange of information, especially tax information, tax fairness, and let me say that the main objective in fact is to stop the relocation of European companies. So it wants Tunisia to stop with the tax advantages granted to what it called the onshore system. And also, thirdly,
de délocalisation des entreprises européennes. Donc, elle veut bien que la Tunisie en fait, arrête avec les avantages fiscaux accordés, surtout ce qu'on appelle le système offshore. Et également l'Union européenne, troisième chose.
And also thirdly, the European Union wants more discipline in money laundering, corruption and governance.
De blanchiment d'argent, la corruption et la gouvernance.
Merci à vous, Dr Aram Belhadj, pour votre
Thank you very much, Dr. Aram Belhadj.
Aram Belhadj, qui est donc
joining us from Tunis, Tunisia.
And have you missed anything on the program? Do not worry, log on to our website, www.africanews.com, and you can catch the very latest there. Again, it is africanews.com. Also, tweet at us at Africanews and at AfricaNewsFR in French. There you can share with us what's going on in your country. We would love to hear from you. Still to come on the program. That Egypt is a powerhouse in African football is well known. But what about other sports? And in particular, squash. What we find may surprise you. We bring you that and more stories in the world of sports when we return after the break. Stay with us.